up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed. I'm really just running for money. I'm love flow, Joe chasing the check. I'm really gonna run up the money. I'm Carl Lewis, really running the best. Calm moving through these hoovers, I maneuver with the bag, baby. Never feeling stressed.
Hide and go seek. It's the coach. This is the 2020 season on EA Sports. Straight ahead, running back Carlos Hyde, fresh off a strong performance a week ago, as it'll be the Miami Dolphins taking on the Oakland Raiders. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Oakland, California. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Miami Dolphins and the Oakland Raiders. Hi again, everyone. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And, Charles, we look at the Raiders here entering play. They come in off a loss in the season opener, which doubled as the home opener.
And when you lose that way, at home, season opener, it almost feels like two losses. So it's a big fight to get yourselves ready to go to play the next week.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Dolphins. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Looked like he was trying to bounce it outside, but no success.
Yeah, sometimes you got to just figure out where you're going to go, and sometimes you just have to take it to another spot. In trying to get it outside, the defensive pursuit was there and just ran him down.
And connecting here with DJ Shark. A big play that time for the Raiders. 44 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Fournette. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave them with a third and about 4 more for a first.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Well, 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now a play fake here on first down. And that will be caught, but out of the end zone, says the field judge. It's ruled incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Here we go. Boom, landed.
He'll look to throw. Steps away to his left. And he'll get it here to the 10-yard line. Now after the completion, we're going to get a timeout, an injured player. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. It's been a 7-play opening drive, and this is 3rd and short.
Here we go. 3-19.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A stop there on third. They could have held him to 3 on this opening drive. Now they have to bow their necks on first and goal.
And if I'm looking at this from the offense's point of view, that's a big-time pickup right there. And
he's in! Touchdown, Raiders! A great play there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders drive right down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. They go play action here on first down. And right away, he lost the football. And the Raiders have recovered. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding. Defense.
So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go.
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. And he's got it. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Austin Seferian-Jenkins, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders add 6 to their lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. And he's going to be hit and taken down in the backfield. Just nowhere to run that time. And the try for 2 is snuffed out. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
And out come the Dolphins now. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. First carry for Carlos Hyde. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. The numbers on the ground for Hyde last week. Very productive. 3 touchdowns, 2 of them on the ground, 1 through the air.
And it will always be a compliment to say that a guy's got a nose for the end zone, and he sure had it last week.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. And Blake, the tight end's got it. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
On 2nd down, here's Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. A Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And down he goes, brought down a Raiders sack.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. 2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down right around the 41-yard line. Call it an 8-yard pickup, and it'll be 3rd down.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a 2nd and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
On 3rd down, Wilson. Complete. He finds Bray. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. They convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. They'll give to Hyde. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
Now Hyde. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So a decent gain, but all
Still
for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating? The guys who just gave up that play.
Now Wilson on 2nd down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And he's got his target. That's more. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And now the passing game here in the 2nd quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it now. The confidence is starting to rise. I think now's a play caller. Because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it. We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence.
Still 1st down.
So from the 2, now they move back to the 7-yard line. 1st and goal. Following the penalty, it's Hyde. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Only a yard on the pickup there. 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
He'll get it up the middle. And he goes backwards on this one. Losing yardage to the 7. It's a loss of 2. Now 3rd down.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He'll leave this for Ware. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. Here's Dustin Hopkins now to try the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. And Hopkins' kick is good. And the Dolphins are going to be forced to settle for 3. So they get the field goal, but that was a 14-play drive to get 3.
You sound like you're going negative on me.
I was.
Sounds like you're thinking the three's just not that good.
And people say that we're negative sometimes. So.
Well, here's the deal. Getting the three is good. Obviously, you would think on a 14-play drive you're going to get 6 out of it. But that type of a drive can pay dividends later on because you might wear the defense down.
And now here come the Raiders.
Gun! 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 Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage with a penalty flag down. This might push him back further.
Holding offense.
That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty. But it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
All right, here we go. Blue landing! Blue landing!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Lucky 56!
On play action, they'll throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll set up a throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that. Super toe.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. On second down, Wilson. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a first down.
I know you're trying not to scoreboard watch, but you only got 3 points. You're kind of hoping that that type of play there gives you some positive momentum going into the half.
Yeah, need to do something to get more than that 3 number that they have on the scoreboard right now. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. On second down, Hyde. And he puts his head down and gets up to the 42 for a gain of about 6. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. A reminder coming up at halftime, we'll head to Orlando. Standing by there, Jonathan Coachman. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL in his second week of the regular season. Throwing is Wilson. Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Raider drive will start from deep in their own territory with a 1st and 10. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5.
And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. And, Charles, at some point, you can't keep worrying about big play. Can this be perfect? You just have to get the ball out of the end zone.
And in the offensive huddle, that was discussed when they called the play. Just get out of the end zone. But you know what's interesting? A lot of the times in the defensive huddle, they actually call a set and then say at the end of it, get a safety. So it's preached, it's coached, it's thought about.
There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. They're throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. A Miami first down. That one going for a gain of 11. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. To the right side and complete to Washington. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 more yards there and another first down. Now Wilson on 1st down. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Quick slant, caught by Moore. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. As they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number 1. Wilson now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. He dumps it to Hyde. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained. So they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Wilson out to the flat for Hyde. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. Call it a gain of 3. And it'll be 3rd and 10 now.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now Wilson to throw on 3rd down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And some room to run now. So we've reached halftime here in Oakland with the Raiders on top. All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. The 20, 10, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. DJ Moore, his first touchdown of the new season. And the Dolphins are an extra point away from tying up this football game.
Partner, one of the cardinal rules of defense is that if you're in position to make a tackle, you need to make it.
Well, and if you can't make the tackle before that, you just got to knock that ball down, right?
Yeah, something has to happen because we saw the end result there. Missed tackle, he goes all the way and takes it for a touchdown.
Now it's Wilson. And he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They'll be looking to respond to the touchdown we just saw a moment ago with a touchdown of their own.
And this drive feels like a responsibility drive, doesn't it? Hey, guys, you just gave up a touchdown. Don't worry about it. We've got your back. We're going to go out there and get that done. And they've had to have gone over scenarios at the half, having looked at what they saw in the first half and said, okay, this is where we can attack and make sure that we get back into the game.
And the question is, how will they attack it? Open man right side is Shark. Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Fournette, a first down carry. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
This will be caught inside the 10. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Oh, Fournette loses it. It's out. He's giving him a little jolt, just gave him the lead there, but 2 TDs now in the game.
And that jolt puts them in the lead. What a terrific job by him. He is carrying the ball and simply saying, I want to win.
And now he's hoping his defense has that mentality as they try to hang on to that lead. And he will get into the end zone again, and he seems to have a nose for it as he gets both the touchdown and the 2-point conversion. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. There's DJ Moore as he and the rest of the offense head back out there. And I know that they've double-teamed him a couple times, but not a ton. Whatever they're doing isn't working. He's up over 100 yards. We'll see how they adjust.
And when they do that, they weaken their defense in other places as well. And how many times have we done games where we've seen a guy have a big game like this? But it's usually not by himself, is it? Right. Usually it opens it up for other people to have big games as well.
It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
They run it again with Hyde. And some room to work. Carlos Hyde, see you later. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Carlos Hyde, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are a 2-point conversion away from tying this football game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. Now it's Wilson. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. And now Oakland ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Now a play fake here on first down. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Well, I guess we just discovered that someone is certainly not going to sit back and just take it in this game, huh?
No, they were trying to get that touchdown back in one shot.
One shot, trying to help out his defense and let the other team know they were coming after him.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35.
Gone! Hurry up, here we go! Green, 39!
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Going up top. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, 3rd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he can't quite pick it. No interception so far. That probably should have been their first, but at least it's 4th down. I don't know. He had to be pretty quick with his fingers to start and stop after the ball hit the ground. I'm giving him some credit.
No, I'm thinking about the mental focus, you know?
Yeah.
The mental focus.
Yeah, that's true.
Got to stay with it.
That's true. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And if they're going to take it in for another touchdown like they did on their last drive, they're going to have to do it the hard way, starting at the 1.
And boy, is that a difficult position. Obviously, where they are on the field, they have to be careful with the football. But at the same time, they can't be so careful that they can't run their offense as well. Everyone's got to lock in this situation. No mistakes.
Again, it's high. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Tackle made that time by Dalvin Tomlinson.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
3rd down, Carlos Hyde. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
We'll call that a 49-yard punt with a return of just 2. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. How do you break down his game so far? Just the 1 touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't, not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Back to throw. That's complete to John Ross. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain of 32 that time.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
They go play action here on 1st down. Flush to his right. That is caught inside the 5. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 23 yards on the play.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a 1st down.
They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And he's over the line and in for a Raider touchdown. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown of the game and 4th on the year. And the Raiders have moved out in front. The Raiders again will come to the line and go for 2. Here's a toss coming right. And not able to break away this this time as they're going to stop him right around the line of scrimmage. Defensively, certainly not fooled there. Play started at the 2, and he was tackled at the 2.
That has to feel good for them. Not happy about having given up the touchdown, but stopping the two-point conversion gives them a little bit of a lift as they head to the bench.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And let's look at Carlos Hyde now. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync. Because early in the game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets. And you might not block them quite the way you want to. But as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together. And that's what we're seeing right now.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's Wilson. And Blake has it over the middle. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide it. But the tight end drag route.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action. Now Wilson. And Brake, the tight end's got it. And they bring him to the ground just shy of midfield. A Miami 1st down, that one going for a gain of 11. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on 1st down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on 1st down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
And the Raiders have got him. Khalil Mack in there to sack him for a loss of 6. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Yeah, and that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down. On 3rd down, Wilson. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll bring up 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The conversion is successful with a sizable gain of 13, and the decision to go for it looks like a smart one. Wilson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the 2nd half. Not bad. 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun, and they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. And he will reach the 5-yard line before going out of bounds. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal.
Some big plays in the passing game on this drive, and here's one out of the running game. So the passing game loosening things up. Now there's room to roam.
They'll run high, and he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Carlos Hyde with his second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year. And the Dolphins can take the lead with the extra point. Nice execution there. Good job by the O-line getting him in for the second time.
And you always have to start with credit there when you're having a big game. I mean, you don't get there by yourself. That's rare. But how about the ability to see the proper holes, pick the proper place to go, and find his way into the end zone?
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now Oakland ready to take the field. We have seen a lot of points here in this quarter. For us up here in the booth, it's been fun to watch. The defensive coordinators probably scratching their heads.
Yeah, they're going a little bit crazy right now. But let's face it, all of our friends who play fantasy, they're enjoying the heck out of this show because most of them are creating and getting a bunch of points.
Yeah, points certainly not at a premium here. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Back to throw. They'll roll him out right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Raiders. DJ Chark, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Raiders have moved out in front here in the 4th quarter.
Wow, I know it's a never-say-never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
The score that puts them in front here late, but now you got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. This is something we've seen many times over the course of his career. Can he pull off another 4th quarter comeback?
And it's very strange, isn't it? Because when it's a player of this magnitude, even though the guys on defense have the lead and are sitting in...
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 30. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
And that one, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to come up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
They'll set up a throw. That's going to be caught. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. DJ Chark with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Raiders take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside of 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy. That could put you in some jeopardy.
And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Then the Dolphins getting set to go here. And last time, one-play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, you get a little confidence in him, and let him fling another one.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. On second down, Wilson. And a big loss here as he's taken down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Third and long, it's Wilson. And that is incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Here we go. It's Wilson on fourth down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And it's going to be... batted down, and we'll go the other way with a football. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
Here we go now.
And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Rolling to his left. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Illegal forward pass. Offense.
So they say no to the penalty. The incompletion stands. It'll be second and 10.
And what they want to do is go ahead and take those downs away from them. You never want to give extra snaps to any offense. That's how you get hurt.
Now let's go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Rush coming, and he's taken down. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue, line it.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. And this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it first and 10. Now it's Wilson. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Khalil Mack in there to drop him as the clock continues to roll. And they'll spike it here at 27 seconds. The Dolphins on third down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. This is third and 14. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. He's going to let it fly. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down. Definitely desperation time. This just looks like, hey, throw it down there, hope that your guy can make a play.
You want him to make a play, but if not, maybe you get a pass interference call, and you know in the NFL, that's a spot foul. You get all that yardage. That would be a big play.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Oh, he's got a little daylight.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. Please.
Now back to throw. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. A good pickup there, a 22.
Well, how about this aggressive approach? Got the lead, 4th quarter, continuing to throw the football. Are you thinking about Super Bowl 51? Atlanta had the lead against New England, and they ended up giving it up?
I was going to say, don't say it, but you did say it.
I did, didn't I?
Yeah, anybody watching Atlanta, our apologies. Now whistles and a timeout called here. Not sure of the point of this, but they'll stop it with 4 seconds to go in the game. 2nd and goal from the 1. They get it to him running left. And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. A great play there. His first touchdown of the new season. And the forced turnover on defense leads to 6 points.
Things are rocking easy here in the 4th quarter. They've got to feel pretty good about this one. Actually, they've got to feel excellent. Tough loss in the opener. No way they wanted to go 0-2.
I don't want to read too much into it, but psychologically, is there something much bigger about 0-2 than 0-1?
Oh, without a doubt, and here's the biggest one. Guys like you and me, all the media, are going to talk about, well, you know how hard it is to make the playoffs when you start 0-2, and that starts to work its way through a team.
And now they're working towards 1-1. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. Well, in this one, partner, we had some action all the way down to the final whistle there with the late points and then the kickoff to end it.
Yeah, and the best part about it is just seeing how teams battled all the way to the end, you know. Didn't really matter. Scoreboard was pretty well set, but they still competed until the final whistle.
So for the Raiders, they at least get the win here to earn a split of their first 2 home games. And they will hit the road next week for a date with the New England Patriots. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they will fall to 1-1, and they will get a home date next week against the Los Angeles Chargers. So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. The Black Hole celebrates. The Raiders are winners here as we say so long from Oakland.
could you face that? Mask on, don't even know where my face at. Plenty don't even know where to waste that. All these in the room, how could you waste that? Huh? Why would you chase that? It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. No matter what, I'ma stay black. It's a never-ending run on this racetrack. Need more jewelry. What I tell myself as I'm writing my eulogy. Ask the mirror, how you put up with this foolery? It reply, how you put up with this song and dance, all this buffoonery. Long romance, death, what it do to me? Yamagini dream was a nightmare. He was dancing with the devil for his life, yeah. We all on the dance floor. Girl, come with a dance. Puerto Rican in them breathing heavy. Little am I looking dead. Couldn't tell him nothing cause we lost him already. Cozy boy with his spaghetti. What the money and fame, the price come heavy. The price come heavy. Like Shaq attack up on a backboard. Gummy, back up on a backboard. When she asked me if I love her.